Hey, what's going on, Chris?
Good afternoon.
How's it going? So, real quick on this on this gym owners podcast, me and you normally talk on the phone all the time, and you're one of my lucky customers that you got to open up pretty early, compared to everyone else. And I have a lot of people that has some questions because everybody's wondering what's going to happen. And I wanted to have you on this cast basically to shed some light and to give some hope to owners that are kind of in the dark, waiting to find out are my customers going to report me if I open up, or what's going to go on. And I know you had some really good success. So one of the questions, one of the main ones, were what were some of your stipulations that you had to go through before opening up?
Well, I guess the biggest concern I had was, well, before we closed, I was probably the last gym in our vicinity of, say, a 150-mile radius that I stayed open as late as I could. So what I did is to prevent getting shut down sooner than later, I brought in cleaning crews, probably like I tripled my cleaning crews. So normally we have one deep cleaning crew coming in every day. That usually consists of two people who know the gym inside and out, and we do what we call a deep clean. I pretty much tripled that when this whole thing started up. So the day we got shut down, which was March 21st, we were implementing this into our system, and it was going very well. And our members and the guests we were getting from all over LA and the northern part of LA, up until Rosemont, were noticing that and appreciative of it. So what I did is when we got shut down, and I came back with the gym, I just kept that policy going. You spend more in labor with bringing in more cleaning crew, three times the amount. You're going to see it with your payroll, of course. But at the same time, right now, I am still taking the virus thing very seriously, and I think it shows in our gym right now. So that's probably the biggest thing. I don't know if you want to get too depth into that right now. I don't know if you want to start what I did before that or what went on during the pandemic. It's
Well,
up to
I
you.
I know you run a pretty clean gym. I just think a lot of people they don't understand because I'm hearing some places where you might have to take temperatures, or you have to burn a treadmill where one treadmill's good, one treadmill you got to take off. But then you go into the case, well, what about family members? Family members might be okay with being on treadmills next to each other. So I think a lot of people are just wondering, like, what's going on. For example, for the treadmills, what are you guys having to, not to go too in depth, but that's a question that I was always wondering. Like, what are you guys doing with that?
Right. So obviously that was on everybody's concern was the cardio equipment because we're a smaller facility. We are 5,800 square feet, but our cardio equipment is closer than an average gym just because, when you have a certain club that you try to have, variety of everything, and in small space, you got to utilize that equipment best you can. So what I did it was all in my plan through the whole pandemic when we were shut down is how we're going to rearrange stuff. So I'm fortunate enough that I have a fitness classroom inside of my regular gym. So I was able to move a bunch of free weight equipment into there, and freeing up space pretty much on the opposite side of the gym to where I can fit, five or six pieces of cardio equipment, a step master, a couple bikes, and that enabled me to spread out the treadmills more. Center to center of treadmills right now is not 6 feet. I will tell you that. I measured with a tape measure. It's close to 5 feet, 6 inches, but, we tried our best. And, when I decided to open, I feel safe enough in our community with how everything's set up in our gym and everything else is open that, we just tried to help a little bit when it came to the spacing situation. It spaced everybody out because people that want to use dumbbells now are spread out. Bench presses are in the opposite area of the dumbbells now, and it kind of like spreads out the weightlifters. We have a whole other completely different unit that we use for our athletic training facility where we do all our circuit training classes and boot camps. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be implementing the classes full time into there now. So all classes will go to that separate bay that's not even connected to our main gym. So that'll also keep the capacity down in the main gym area as well.
Gotcha.
Is that,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
And this whole thing happened. I know a lot of gym owners were like, should I mass freeze people? Should I keep the billing going? I know my thoughts on that. Because some people, like where I live, gym's probably not going to open till June, mid-June maybe. So maybe you want to tell people what you did, going into this and what the reactions of people were. Was it because some people are just blown out panicking, oh, I'm going to freeze everybody, without realizing gym memberships are at the bottom of the totem pole here. And as I think, as long as you give them a way to call in to freeze or to cancel, and that it's not being a hassle whatsoever, most people, I think, would want to show support. But here, you're the actual gym owner. Why don't you tell us what you did and what the, what people have done or what the reaction was?
Well, great question. So what it comes down to is in the beginning, as a gym owner, as a business owner, dealing with other businesses my whole life too, especially coming from my father and I owned a pizzeria. And when you're in that kind of business, when there is crisis going on and there's disasters happening, you are like the foundation of businesses that stay open for people, for food, and we never close for any reason. The worst blizzards, the nor'easters, it doesn't matter. We stay, making pizza, making food for people. Well, with this, I had that same mentality still going into this thing. So that's why I kept trying to keep the business open. So when we did shut down, as other owners are probably going to relate to this conversation, is that I was very mad. I was very upset. But what I can tell you is it started with this. We've been open 4 years this coming June 1st, and it all boils down to one thing, and that is building your foundation with your members from day one. So we literally have built a family here at this gym. And I know people say it all the time, but it's true. We're the only gym in our town. We're very involved since day one with all the athletics, all the education programs. We help out any way we can with all the, little leagues and, computer clubs. Any way Roosevelt Fitness can be a part of the community, we're there. Well, my members have supported us since the day we shut down, the entire time. So what I did is obviously I called you guys probably every 3 or 4 days just to kind of see what your thoughts were, to make sure I was making the right decisions, because, you don't want to upset your members. You don't want to take advantage of the situation. But fortunately for me, like you said also, I constantly was on my emails all day long. I was working from home just as much as I work from my desk when I'm here at the gym.
Sure.
The phones were either transferred to my cell phone at certain times a day, or it had a message stating, if you have any inquiries or questions on what's going on, email us here. Facebook messages were going off left and right, making sure that we were still involved. And that I was the virtual class thing was the best way to stay in touch with the town. We have a bunch of town Facebook pages that I was able to tap into with our social media and have all my instructors have virtual classes. I was able to keep anywhere from 7 to 9 employees employed the entire time. Whether I'm bringing people in every few days just to clean the gym, because you know how it gets. It gets dirty even when there's nobody in there. So we kept up on that. And the virtual classes was a great way to stay in touch with our members and also reach non-members. I did it for free. I didn't charge. It was Facebook Live. Join us. We want everybody involved. My head instructor, Andrea, she was a big supporter of this, and she's also certified in kids classes. So I introduced kids fitness classes during this time as well. People appreciate that, but people also know, and my members especially, that when it comes down to it, what it boils down to is I appreciate my members, and I just wanted to make the right decisions on that behalf. So, if they needed refunds because obviously people were getting laid off, they're in the same position as us. Boom, instantaneously, within 24 hours, I was refunding the money. If they wanted to cancel, I would advise, well, we're doing a freeze now because, one, Gym Insight supports a freeze program under their software. When the last software company I had didn't do that. It wasn't easy, just like a freeze button and boom. Because the software allowed that. It was easy for me to do that, keep track of the ones I was freezing. And then once I kind of explained to them via email that it was beneficial for them to freeze versus cancel, because we'll just turn it back on when they want, they would freeze. So we did have a bunch of freezes. We did have some cancels. We did have a bunch of refunds. I have a credit back plan that I have in place in case a member wants credit back. It's no problem. Just bring it to our attention. We're taking everything individually per what kind of membership they have, the amount of days the gym was closed. We were closed 42 days on the dot. So, you know, every day, there was not one day where I woke up and I was paranoid and had anxiety because of what was going on and what we were doing, and I wanted to make sure we were making the right decision. There wasn't a day I went to bed I didn't think about it, and it didn't bother me. But we just kept doing what we were doing. I was in touch with my members no matter what, and they all know us, and we have built such a great rep in the last 4 years that I'm not going anywhere. And, you know, they knew that, and I was getting emails with people telling me my card expired. That's why I had a decline, because I got a text message. And, you know, it was very emotional. Like every day I would turn to my wife and tell her, you know, this lady just sent me her credit card number. She did this, she did that. Not a question at all about the gym. Just we want to get back in the gym. We want to get back to that camaraderie that we built.
Sure.
Myself and my staff, you know. So that's what went down through this whole process. And I you know, to keep my mind busy, as any business owner would do in their own businesses, I accomplish goals each week. You know, I brought in a painting company, you know, 1 week to do some touch-ups and paint this room and get it looking so that when we do go back to business, I knew we would open eventually. Be ready. You know, I had the floor plan already drawn up on how I wanted to lay things out. So when, in case, which I kind of knew what would happen was, is when we decided to go green with this thing and get back to it, I would only have 1 day to be ready to go, because we wanted to open as soon as possible. And not to go after the people that don't have gyms, to bring them in and gain all that finance. But, you know, because of my members, I wanted it back open for them. So there was a plan in place. There was goals met. We took care of place. We were ready to rock and roll right when we were ready to go, and it all fell into place. And you know, you feel better now that happened. You know, as a business owner, there's nothing worse than your business is shut down and it's out of your hands. It's just, the feeling is unexplainable.
I'm sure. Well, I mean, there's some positives. I think anyway, these virtual classes, even when this is all over, I'd probably still keep doing them. They're like virtual guest passes in a way, right? People, it's, you know, it's a way for people that are too scared to go into a gym, because there are a lot of people that haven't worked out ever, or maybe 10 years. And some of them don't go to a gym because they're scared of looking foolish, because they don't think they're doing the right thing. And these classes are kind of like a soft introduction to say, hey, look, we're all just normal people here. We want to get you in shape. So, I mean, I would probably keep these virtual classes going even after this is all done. So I think, and I watched a couple of your kickboxing classes, so it's super high energy and very entertaining. Okay, so we did the virtual classes, and the reaction were pretty much mostly positive. Now let's go into day one. You open the door up, day one. Tell us about the first day and how everything boiled down. You know, new memberships, if there were any. You know, take it from there.
Okay, so day one, let's go back one day. It was a Sunday. Okay. So it was the 3rd. My wife and I were sitting on the couch, you know, just woke up, 8 o'clock, Sunday morning, and we're having coffee. And my buddy, he texted me the link to the Kern County where they said, you know, we're not going to enforce non-essential businesses to remain closed. Well, I got that, and it was like, you know, like when Superman goes into the phone booth and he's changed in like a second. My wife, she knew it. She looked at me and she's like, what do you think? And we both sat there for like a minute, and I said, she's like, you know, I think it's time. I'm like, it is. And she knew what I wanted to do. And I was like, blanket came off, out the door. I was on my way to Staples getting, you know, guest passes made up and whatever I had to get done, paperwork I need to take care of. But it was pretty – see, I have a really good team staff here. So, you know, it just took a couple text messages. Within like 40 minutes, I had 6 people ready to rock and roll. I had the game plan at the gym for the cleaning, what I wanted done. They took care of that. I had to run the town and get more antibacterial stuff. Even though I already had a big batch, I wanted to make sure we were good. And that was pretty much like a nice 10-hour day. So by like 8 o'clock that night, we had the whole gym ready to roll. Everything was ready. I added. The good thing is I have my linen guy on speed dial. He's my buddy, and I text him, hey, I want, 5 extra hand sanitizing stations delivered first thing in the morning if you can, extra sanitizing. So I added more to the walls. I got bottles everywhere. We added probably 8 times the amount of wipes and everything else that we offer everywhere, neatly placed, ready to go. I offered gloves if you wanted them. And so day one, I couldn't sleep. I got to the gym at 3:15. I got a nice workout in. I got revved up and ready to go, got my game face on, because it really felt like almost like the first day we ever opened. Just like, some employees chose not to work yet. They live with elderly people or they have certain conditions, and I completely understand that. And as I told them, so I had my staff set up. I had the cleaning crews ready to go for the first day. And I'm in there and, 4:50, cars start to pull up, and it's almost like they didn't believe it. I got so many phone calls the first 2 hours, like, is it true? And I'm like, yeah, I'm open. Come on down, let's go. And everybody that walked in every single time, there were some members who I just felt like hugging because it's been so long, and you see them every morning. And like I said, you just build this relationship with people, and I have it with so many of my members. And, they started rolling in, and it wasn't like not one question about, why'd you keep charging? It's just like the support from these people. They knew it. They understood. Like, this place, if you wanted to be here.
Scared at that I wanted to bring up. I think a lot of gym owners were scared, and that's what I was alluding to. So none of that feeling whatsoever.
No, it was more just like, thank you. I can't tell you the amount of people that were like, thank you for taking this chance and opening. And, it was overwhelming. It was a long day, but everything you wish it could be, it was. We brought in new memberships, not because of other towns had no gyms. We brought in new memberships from our town that people have been waiting for the last 42 days to join because they just moved to town, or, hey, I was just about to jump in and I didn't. So memberships were up, and the people that I had a list of freeze accounts. And I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't get back, 50% of the people that froze because they're still in bad situation.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's what I kind of wanted to get at.
So I'm not going to text a mom who I know comes in because, yeah. So I postponed classes for 2 weeks. So we're not having classes until the 18th of May, and that's not even going to be a full throttle thing either. That's going to be an ease into it type deal. We usually do like anywhere from like 18 to 24 classes a week. I'm not ready for that. Some of my instructors aren't ready to come back, and that's fine. But the first day was good. It was a busy day, a lot of day passes. I have a week pass. Day passes are $10. Week passes are $15. And I made up a month access pass because I knew people were going to be coming for a month because they're in different counties, different LA and stuff, where they're not going to have a gym for at least a month. So for $35, you get instant access. It's a month pass. Here you go. And we got a lot of those. We were definitely over 10 for the first day of those. And the best part about it is the biggest question people are going to ask you is, what's the capacity look like? And, our size gym, I know what I like to have. I know what we're legally allowed to have, but I think it's a little too much what we're legally allowed to have just because it gets too confined. So I have my numbers, and, I implemented with my staff that, during the busy times, every hour, I want you to go to the cameras and count how many people are in our gym. And I want you to jot it down or text me if I'm not there, even though I've been there every night since we opened, because you got to put out fires. There's going to be fires to put out, but it's good fires. And I know there's, it's a campfire, it's not a fire that's, burning down a forest. It's something that has to be addressed. There are people that want refunds or want credit, and I totally get it. People work hard for their money, and, money's not, flowing in for some people, and I get it. So you take care of all the fires, and you do that at night mostly because that's when they're coming in. and it's good to be there. It's good to see the members coming in. It's good to see new people coming, because with my gym, they get surprised when they walk in the doors. And that's what I always told people. I want my gym to wow people. Like, this place is clean. They're friendly. They got everything you could want. You know, everything that you really could want. We don't have swimming pools. We don't have saunas and hot tubs and stuff. We're not like that. We're strictly a gym. But seeing the people come from, 50, 60 miles south of here and walk in and go, wow, this is really nice. It's a great feeling. And it's good to have the members back for sure. So I went home that night. Yeah, went home that night, got home around, I left a little early. I think I left around 8 o'clock, and just walking through the parking lot, it was just a really, really just a great feeling. And I went home and I sat outside, I watered my grass, and just it was a good feeling to be back to business and back to normal. That's
awesome. Yeah, I had a feeling that because you have these people that are dedicated, these all or nothing people. They started to work out from home, but they're all or nothing people. So I'm guessing right now they're out of shape, but you have these other people that have never worked out before, getting out of their house, doing walks. They're seeing results of fitness, and now they're going to want to continue those results. Where you've only been open a couple days, and look how many accounts you've already set open. I know a lot of gym owners, the fear is that they're going to have these neighborhood Nancy's coming in and just trying to trash you or whatever. Why are you opening? And it's just good to hear that you said that you didn't have any of that.
Well, I would not say I didn't have any. I've had two issues. And you're going to I'm not with my social media stuff. I'm pretty big on Facebook and Instagram social media. That's where I do most of my advertising now. So I normally reach out to, there's about 4 town Facebook pages that have thousands of people on them. And I usually reach out and share all my stuff there. But I knew this was going to be a touchy subject. And just by seeing comments on Facebook with just everything going on in general, I didn't want my gym to even be part of it. So I just decided that I'm not going to promote on anything but my own personal social media for Rosemelt the Fitness and my Instagram, and that's it. So just business page for me. I didn't reach out to the public. Just because you know how it is. You have keyboard warriors, you have haters, you have people who are for opening back up the country, and then you have the people that are, want to stay inside for the rest of their lives or until this thing goes away, which we know it's never going to go away.
Right.
So I just knew it was going to happen. I had 2 instances, one lady on online and one lady came in. And the only thing you guys can do, and it's hard to do, trust me, my blood boiled when it happened, but just keep your cool, be friendly. I just said, look, thank you for your concern, and she pretty much was like, you're breaking the laws. And it's just, look, we didn't get government assistance. We didn't get help, but we're ready to come back. Everything else is open in our town. And I just told her, I said, look, she was a member. She was canceling. I said, look, when you're ready to come back, don't, just see me. I understand your situation. I want everybody to be comfortable. You're not comfortable yet? Please don't come out. Don't come to the gym. But you will get some backlash, and some of you might get more than I've gotten. And I'm not, and let me tell you something, I don't think it's over yet either. But, I see people everywhere, supermarket, I know everybody in town, and you go to the supermarket, I'll see 8 or 10 people. And, right. During the pandemic, it's just, right. When are you going to open back up and this and that? Just remain positive. We're all in the gym business. Our business is a positive business, and we influence a lot of people in life to better themselves and want to keep striving. And that's just what I focus on. So just focus on the good and what you're bringing to the people that are going to appreciate and enjoy the gym again.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to start every day trying to be positive where, because you know those days, if you're not positive, it directly correlates to a bad sales day, right? Where you have to remain positive, but you have to think everybody that walks through your door, if you're not in a positive, they'll detect if you're positive or negative, and that's going to correlate to you signing them up or not, right? They don't want to go to a gym where the owner is pissed off or just in a negative mood. Like, so every day I used to walk my gym, and I would just, if there was, I would see ladies on the treadmill, I'm like, oh, you look good. You lose weight. And they're like, oh, I haven't been here in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, keep it up. You know, it's just I see them be in a good mood, and in turn it would put me in a good mood. Because we are, you know, we're not just the gym. We're also their / psychiatrists. Like, we all have those members that come in just to talk to us more than they actually, you know, work out. But it's good to know that you had one lady that was a member. I mean, what's the percent of that for your whole member base? 0.1% of one person that came in? You know, positives outweigh the negatives, I think. As long as you stay safe, there's nothing, you know, I think the membership, I think this is going to make New Year's resolutions look like a slow Sunday, you know, with everyone that's about to start coming in. Because people are sick of staying in, and, you know, it is the hospitals, or, I mean, I'm not trying to go into what it is, 'cause that's another podcast on another channel, but, you know, the hospitals you know, yeah, that's another podcast on another channel, where this is pretty much where, because a lot of owners are scared, you know, they want to know if their members are going to turn on them for opening up. So that's why I really wanted to have you on here, just to like really go over, because how many days have you been open now?
Well, today's what, Monday? So it's been a week. It's open last Monday. So it's been a week. Yeah, so we're on, you know, 8 days now. But don't get me wrong, I'm still very not paranoid, but I'm not celebrating, because I don't know when you're going to air this, but you know, we could technically get shut down. So, you know, it's just our local authorities are not, you know, pushing for it right now. But it's all good, you know. It's just it's good to be back. It's just, and that's the other thing too, like you were saying, the people that didn't want to join a gym in the past realize, like, wow, these people are normal people. You know, I'm doing my virtual classes, and my little trademark during my virtual classes, I was always had my cup of coffee in the morning before I started. Like, good morning, everybody. You know, see people in the supermarket like, oh, it's so cool, you're drinking coffee online. I love it. You know, this and that. And so yeah, just the biggest thing is stay positive, and I think you all are going to be very happy with the outcome. I think that a lot of the smaller gyms are going to be benefit more than the big gyms, because I know a lot of the big gyms, I have people that belong to other gyms that come here, and there's no way to get in touch with them. It's just an answering service, and that's it. You don't know when they're opening, because there's no personal connection there. So I think a lot of you small gyms, have your plan ready, and get ready to execute it, and have things. Another good thing, like I said, I came up with a monthly access plan, easy to get into for somebody coming from another gym. I feel bad for those people. You know, we want all the business we can get as business owners, but at the same time, you and I both know that when somebody is happy with their facility, that's their club. And, you know, you feel for them, but don't try to lock them into something that they can't get out of. You know, be there. Like, before I owned a gym, you know, and became a gym owner, I loved going to the gym. I was a hobbyist gym goer. You know, I love going. So be that guy who's like, look, I know your gym's closed. I feel for you. I got an instant access pass. Here you go. Have fun. Enjoy it. Just clean up your weights, and respect my members, and they'll respect you, and we're good to go.
You get that person anyway, just from that. You're going to end up getting them anyway.
Exactly. And they'll appreciate you, and they might help you by giving you a good Yelp review, or plugging you into Instagram or something to that nature. But, you know, just have plans ready for people to jump in and out of quickly. So that's where we're at with that.
Yeah, that's I mean, come on, don't sign somebody into a contract if you're the only gym open and the other ones, if they belong to an Anytime or something like that, and that's closed and you're the only one opening. Yeah, dude. I mean, I wouldn't mind signing up to a month to month. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I mean, you're doing a step nice. I mean, I could see the value of, like, look, I'll give you a week pass or whatever it is. Just do me a favor, if you do like the facility, just leave a nice review on Yelp, because we know, Yelp reviews are another podcast in itself where, how legit are those things,
Yeah,
that's, you don't
exactly.
advertise with them. Somehow the negative reviews stay up there for some reason,
Yeah.
I don't understand, but,
Yeah.
but, that's just another thing. But yeah, I think that the big takeaway out of all this is like, let's look at the positives. Virtual classes. If I was still doing gyms, absolutely. I would be doing them all the time. And like you said, we all got into this business, I think most of us, because we used to love working out. I was somebody that used to love working out twice a day, and it was a dream of mine to work in a gym, much less have one. Just like every alcoholic wants to own his own bar, I think every person that really loves fitness wants to own their own gym, right? But then
Right.
you get to a point where if your love and hobby and passion becomes the stress on your shoulders, where now you have to pay rent, you have to pay overhead, and that 2 hour workout that you used to be able to do at the end of the day, you end up doing like, 20 minutes, I got to get out of here. I want to leave for the day.
Every time you're doing something, you take a break for a second. Oh God, I got to get that wall fixed. Oh man, that treadmill's broke. Oh man, I got to fix this. Yeah, it's not the same anymore. But you know what? I choose. You're gonna laugh. I choose to work out with the lights off most of the time, so I don't
Sure,
see
yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Just keep focus on the workout and my music. But funny thing about the virtual classes, today I announced that this full week, because we're still doing virtual classes right now, this full week will be the last week of free virtual classes. Starting next Monday, I designated one instructor who's in charge of doing live classes and virtual stuff. She's going to be. It's going to be a paid membership now. So we're going to have the Roseman. We're going to have the Roseman Health and Fitness virtual fitness class membership. We're going to, and from Wednesday to Friday this week, the 13th, 14th, and 15th, you can do an introductory rate price. It's $8.99. Unlimited classes that we offer in the virtual zone for each month, and it's an easy contract. Get out within 10 business days if you need to, but it will be a reoccurring payment. So we are starting that next week, and like you said, you can reach everybody from here to New Jersey to Florida, whatever. So we've been doing it. I've been getting nothing but positive comments. If you're already a member for my gym, you're automatically going to be able to get in, no extra fees. But it's just another. It just opened up another avenue for revenue for the gym, which is a positive thing. I don't think it's going to be that huge thing where
Sure.
oh wow, we're retire a year later. No, but it's just something to offer,
Well,
So-
why limit yourself to the parking lot, right? Where if this is, you never know, you might have you might have a good thing going, and you might have people that want to see you or one of your special teachers, and you have people from Florida or Pennsylvania or whatever want to go to your virtual class. You're not
Yep.
limiting yourself. Not a bad idea. I like it. So just I'm curious, because I know a lot of people are thinking about using, say, for example, and I'm not trying to make this about Gym Inside. This podcast is really just, I want to be for gym owners, but a lot of people are using class calendars because they'll say, hey, you can only have 15 people in there an hour. So they're like making the class calendar, they're setting it up each hour as a class and 15 people on the reservation, and that's it, to try to help out a little bit. There's going to be no real definite way, because we're all trying to make this up as we go, right? Is there anything that you're doing to like just tell people, hey, how are you limiting your numbers in your gym? Because I know that was a question I was getting all the time.
Yeah. Like I told you earlier, fortunately for us, we haven't reached anywhere near our capacity yet that we're legally allowed to have. But I have my own number. I'm not going to say it, but I have my own number, and I haven't reached that yet either. As for classes, like I told you, I moved all the dumbbells and pre-weighted barbell racks into my fitness room inside the gym itself. So I'm moving all classes to our athletic center, which is a bay away. That room's about 300 square foot bigger than my actual fitness classroom. So it spaces it out.
That's a good idea.
We can easily have 20 people in that room and still have about arm's length each side.
Sure.
On side to give you some space. But our classes usually range anywhere from 8 to about 12 to 15 people per class. I expect when we first go live with the classes again in person, it's going to be slow because a lot of people are not, my regulars, not all of them are ready to come back. They're waiting. I've spoke to people that they've texted me, hey, I know you're open. I just want you to know. I had a gentleman who has heart conditions and lung conditions. His name's James, great guy. And he came in with a face mask. I'm like, what are you doing here? Older guy. He's like, I just want you to know I'm coming back in a week, I think. I'm like, all right, but go home. You shouldn't be here yet then. You know? Jeez. But, you know, I don't see it being an issue, but it's one of those things where you kind of got to play it by the day. Let's see how it happens. If there's a class with 30 people in it waiting in line, okay, guys, look, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to talk to my instructor real quick, see if they'll do a double class. We'll draw numbers, and half of you will take the class right now, and in 40 minutes, the other half will go. You know, and people are going to be understanding, whatever it takes. So I'm ready to do something like that if I have to. Again, have the plans in place so that in case something does happen, you're ready to roll either way and keep everybody, you know, happy, and just play the customer, you know, be that good customer presentation where, you know, they're excited that you're ready, you're prepared for what's going to happen.
Sure.
So it's
you have a
customer service. Be ready.
Do you have a
What's
big
that?
parking lot? Because I know, like, one of my ideas was for small gyms, like, get a bunch of cones and maybe like the tire you have behind you, like develop an obstacle course for, you know, during the day. So this way there's something for them to do. If they go inside and they see something, you know, it's a little bit busy, I could go outside and go play with the battle ropes or something, or even bring some dumbbells outside so you could work out while you're outside, you know. Do you have a spot where that's feasible, or would you recommend something like that to other gym owners?
Well, funny you brought up the parking lot. I don't know if I talked to you about this, but a week before we opened, I was on the phone with the county multiple times a day. I was on the phone with my insurance guy multiple times trying to make sure everything would work and getting quotes. But we were very close because golf courses were open in our county. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't wrap my head around why that's open. And yet, you know, we're not open, even though they would say it's outdoor recreation. So I was ready to put a 50 by 100 circus tent up in my parking lot. I already had my landlord on board. I had rent a fence ready to go around. I was going to park my RV outside and sleep in it until they allowed it to open. And then no walls on the tent, just a covering, and have 6 feet in between each machines and do outdoor recreation. The county couldn't give me an answer because they were blown away by the question. It's like, I got to get back to you. Next person would call. Let me find out some more stuff. Even my own insurance agent, he goes to war for me. He's like, we got to figure this out, Chris. He's like, I love the idea. I think I would have done it just for a week because it was very expensive for the tent rentals, and they had to come by every other day and make sure it wasn't going to be blown away because we're in the desert here. Rent a fence. Porta potties. I was going to rent those trailers with the bathrooms, you know, where, you know, like they do for the scenes, you know, they rent the bathrooms, you know, have them come and clean them thoroughly every day. Like whatever you could think of, I was going to do. And I was going to move the entire gym outside. And that's how we were going to do it. But that fell through because the county finally called me back and said, no, it's not essential. And I just got tired of fighting it. I wanted to do that one because, man, could you imagine the publicity stunt that would have been? Holy cow. Like, that would have been awesome. It would have been like Muscle Desert, not Muscle Beach, but Muscle in the Desert, you know? It'd be fun. Yeah. But, but as for fitness classes, I really don't want to bring in our parking lot. It's a big parking lot, but it's a busy parking lot at certain times of the day, especially when we do our classes and it's dark at night in the morning. So, but be creative. I know people at gyms that have backyards that have just grass fields. Mow that thing. Mow it. Get it ready. Prepare whatever you can. I'm telling you right now, prepare for it. And that's what I think that we have done here is we have tried the best we can to prepare for, knock on wood, most situations. So have your staff ready because you're going to need that extra staff. If you're an owner and you're watching this and you usually help out with the front desk, you make sure you got your cleaning crews ready and your staff is in place to handle the sign-up situations, the guest passes, the tours, because you're going to be busy thanking people and being happy to talk to your members again. And they're going to want to talk to you. So just be prepared and be ready. Like I always look at a day at work, it's like a war. And you got to put your battle stations where they belong. You got to have your ammo ready and get ready for it. And that's just the way I was brought up in all businesses. You know, my dad brought me up like that. Always be prepared, and everything will be smooth. And when you have a smooth day, especially like Monday was last week, you go home and you just feel good. You did your job.
You want to continue for the next day and the next day, and you know, because let's face it. I mean, I always looked at everybody that comes in. That's the difference between us and selling cars, right? We're selling fitness. There's no bad thing you could possibly say about me selling a membership. I'm trying to help someone else's life, you know, for fitness and to be healthier, to where, you know, selling a car, it's like you're really just trying to sell them for the most amount of money you can. You really can't sleep at night, where I had no problem at all working in the gym. I loved it. But I mean, yeah, I don't understand how they say gyms aren't essential when their liquor stores are essential, and they say that's for mental health. And if I don't work out, I get depressed, you know? So yeah. I 100% applaud you for being open. It's good to hear that everything went as well as it did for you. Anything as far as like masks or did they say anything about wearing like gloves or workout? Like, I don't understand workout gloves, because I would rather have regular hands because I could wash my hands. Workout gloves, how are you going to wash workout gloves? You know,
they're gross. Ever smell workout gloves? I used to wear them once in a while, and I was that smell, and I realized it's the gloves. They're horrible, and no matter how many times you wash them, you can't clean them. So, no, I told you, whatever the member's comfortable doing. If they come in wearing a mask and they're like, that's what you're gonna have to watch when you first open back up, is the questions of what are you doing? Like, what have you changed? What's your capacity rate? Are you requiring masks? Look, plain and simple. My opinion, masks are more dangerous when you're working out than if you take them off, because you're breathing in the same air. I'm going to have people fainting all over the place. And, you know, so I said, look, whatever you want to do, leave it up to them. Don't forget, you're going to have new people coming in, asking you questions. You know, what are you guys doing to prevent, you know, the germs from spreading? Have you changed your cleaning trues? Have you moved equipment? Have all this stuff in line and ready to go. And don't forget, if you have Gym Insight like me, I utilized my text messaging. So Anthony probably knows this because he probably checked out my account. But the first day back, I upped my text messaging to the gold package. I have the silver. It only allows 500 text messages a month. I only use it for people that decline. That's it. But I knew that I was going to be reaching out to other people, so I upped it to the gold. And then I upped it to the platinum 4 days later, because I said, you know what? Let's send another text out, bring in old members. And that's what I did. I was talking to Anthony on, I think it was Tuesday, and he came up with an idea. And it was, you know, his idea was a little crazy. You know, hey, $5, rejoin for the month. And I was like, yeah, we'll do 10. And so what we did was I sent a mass text out to all my old members. Any ex-member that wants to join back up, we're open. A special for 4 days, $10 to start your membership back up. And then next month your payments start at $24.99, because that's what our standard is. And you're back in the gym for $10. So no initiation fees, no extra penalties, nothing. Rock and roll, let's go. Here's your key tag. Have fun, enjoy. And it worked. I think the first day, I forgot what it was, but we had a bunch of memberships the first day. We were definitely over, I think, 13 or 14 memberships the first day alone. For a small facility is pretty good. Wow. I think like 6 or 7 of them were from that text. But then the following 2 days, I think we averaged about 4 to 5 just from that text.
They'll keep rolling in, yeah.
It'll keep coming, but I stopped it, though. I got enough from that sale. And you guys got to realize, to up it to that premium package cost an extra $39. You hit go for it, and within a blink of an eye, you have it. And I was utilizing it. I text most of my freezed members that day after we opened. Hey, we're open. Let me know when you want to unfreeze the account. And, you know, you get text messages back. You got to stay up on that. That's big, because it's all about staying in touch with people. And I would say about maybe 20% of the people I text to unfreeze, they did unfreeze. But some people aren't ready yet to come back, and that's fine. So utilize your software. have your plan in place. And owners, I worked 7 days last week. We're used to that. It's not a big deal. But we're trying to get our businesses back on a smooth track to where we just go back to managing our staff and keeping everything in line. So I worked morning, afternoons, and nights last week just to be there and make sure that everything's good, because you can't put this all on your staff. It's not fair. The captain's got to be there when the waves are high, and that's what it came down to. So just be prepared and be positive. You're going to open back up, and I wish all you luck for sure. That's definitely. We're all in this together.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I think for sure, me and you talk all the time, but I think, obviously we'll have, because I honestly want to have podcasts where we could go into generating leads, how to booking appointments, closing percentages, how to give a tour. But I really wanted to do this podcast to give other owners hope with somebody that actually opened, so they could see firsthand. And you could see he's wearing the name on his shirt of "This is a real owner," and and everything you went through. So I hope I wasn't trying to promote the software. I think Gym Insight's awesome, but I'm a little biased. But I really didn't want this to have anything to do with software. Thank you so much. What's that?
That's the thing. Like with when people talk to me about my software company now, I can pick up the phone and with right then and there, I'm talking to you, and you're the one I deal with what kind of programs to ask about and consultation, and then Danny's there on customer service if you need him. So you are dealing with that. It's a closer relationship, and that's something you can't put a dollar amount on. And then just bouncing ideas off of people. I mean, how many times have you given me an idea? Or I love when sometimes I'm just bored or in a slump, and I'll call you up, we'll have a conversation, you get fired up, next thing you know, you're right back in it, Hey, I'm doing this.
We get burned out.
Yeah, you get tired of having to always try to strive to push people to keep positive in the gym, but next thing you know, you talk to somebody who's in the business, and Anthony, I'm doing my membership appreciation raffle this month, that month, and it's just I'm giving. Oh, that's the other thing. I ordered a bunch of free T-shirts. I'm going to be handing out free T-shirts to my members just because, they appreciate that stuff. But yeah, Gym Insight, since I've been with you guys, I've definitely been, I feel more connected to the gym and what's going on inside the gym. And it's mainly because of the podcast that I just came across on YouTube one day. I just love to listen to any type of gym business when I'm on the treadmill doing my cardio. I don't know anybody that likes cardio. So I listen to gym business no matter what it is, and it just motivates us, and we're all in this together, and you guys have definitely helped for sure.
I appreciate it. I know, listen, we all get burnt out, and so I always tell people to think like a customer, because so many times where you're hearing member concerns, member complaints throughout the whole day, you do get burnt out sometimes, and it's not, I don't know all the answers. I think actually most owners know the answers. It's just that they're so tired and so burnt out that I usually tell people, just stop, get yourself out of the situation and think like a customer, and you'll find your answer. But yeah, it's just, I know a lot of people, they're working 7 days a week. They stopped working out. And when you stopped working out, you start gaining weight. And then you start hearing it from your friends. Don't you own a gym? Why are you not in shape? And then you're just like, oh boy. But yeah. I always tell people, when you do get burnt out, stop, take a break, leave for half an hour, talk to somebody, and just because if you keep going when you're burnt out, you're going to do more damage than good, even though you're working more, right? But again, that could be another podcast. I know it's already taken up over an hour of your time. Yeah. So I do appreciate everything, Chris. And let's do another one of these days.
Yeah, I'm ready whenever, and maybe you'll get some good feedback from other owners. Like, hey, can you guys do this topic next? And
sure.
Next thing you know, we got a series going, so that's fun. I appreciate you having me, and everybody out there listening. If you don't mind me, just follow me on Facebook or Instagram, and if you learned anything, you got any questions for me, just Rosemond Health and Fitness, ROSAMOND Health and Fitness. and I wish all you luck getting back in business for sure. This was not fun for any of us, and I just hope that you're all just as successful as we were in the beginning before this all started.
All right, Chris. I will talk to you in a bit, and have a good rest of your night.
Thanks, guys. Take care,
All right, see you later. Bye.
everybody.